The sun beat down on Willow Creek Estates like it had a personal grudge against any blade of grass longer than 2.5 inches. Welcome to suburban paradise, folks, where the lawns gleamed like military parade grounds, the houses wore the exact same shade of approved beige, and the rules were tighter than a noose disguised as a welcome mat. I, Emily Harper, had called this slice of hell home for 8 long years, quietly tending my own patch of the American dream in my modest 2-story colonial. Or at least that's what the neighbors thought. The aroma of fresh coffee mixed with the faint scent of printer ink as I arranged client portfolios on the dining table that doubled as my war room. My home office sat right in the front sunroom, bay window proudly facing the street because, well, natural light and all that. Big mistake in HOA land. From next door, the shrill laugh of Ashley Wilkins cut through the hedge like a chainsaw in a library. "I'm up to 45,000 followers now," she crowed, waving her phone like it was the Holy Grail. Her mother, Deborah Whitaker, our beloved HOA president and reigning Karen Supreme, beamed from her porch, pearl necklace gleaming like a crown of entitlement. "That's the spirit that raises property values, sweetie," Deborah cooed in that honeyed voice she reserved for anyone who kissed her HOA ring. I set my mug down and stared at the latest violation notice pinned to my fridge like a wanted poster. Number 3 this month. Visible commercial activity prohibited under Covenant 4.2. Remove all office equipment from front-facing areas immediately or face escalating fines. Signed with a flourish by Deborah Whitaker, President. The woman spoke like a concerned neighbor but swung power like a mafia don in pastel cardigans. While Ashley got special waivers for her content creation setups, blinding lights, tripods blocking sidewalks, Amazon boxes piling up like a hoarder's wet dream, my quiet financial consulting gig was public enemy number 1. Deborah patrolled the streets in her golf cart like a dictator on wheels, clipboard in hand, measuring grass heights with a ruler that probably had her initials engraved. "Standards must be maintained," she'd lecture at every monthly potluck, which was really just a thinly veiled HOA board meeting where she and her cronies decided whose life to ruin next. The neighborhood looked peaceful on the surface. Kids riding bikes, flags snapping in the breeze, barbecues wafting over fences. But underneath, a web of covenants so absurd they made you laugh through gritted teeth. No more than 3 Amazon deliveries a week. Mailbox color? Only whisper white. Grass? Exactly 2.5 inches, no exceptions, or $100 a day until compliance. And heaven forbid your house showed any sign of actual work happening inside. I was 29, single, and apparently invisible until my computer monitors offended Deborah's delicate aesthetic. What no one knew, what I'd buried deeper than my client NDAs, was that behind those screens hummed a financial consulting empire worth millions. Portfolios managed across 4 states, 3 full-time remote employees, revenue hitting 7 figures last quarter alone. While the block fawned over Ashley's sponsored lip gloss hauls, I'd built this from weekend side gigs in college, socking away every dollar while they assumed I was just working from home. The board meeting was tomorrow night at Deborah's McMansion. I could already picture her standing at the head of the table, fake smile plastered on, announcing some new community improvement that just happened to benefit her daughter. I sipped my coffee, expression blank as a fresh violation form. Inside, though, the gears were turning. They wanted my space repurposed for neighborhood aesthetics? Fine. Play along for now. But the seed of my counterstrike had been planted years ago, back when Deborah first fined me for a client's car parked 30 seconds too long. That was the day I promised myself. Never again would I be the invisible one. The potluck spread at Deborah's house smelled of forced cheer and passive-aggressive potato salad. String lights twinkled over the backyard like they were mocking the tension humming beneath. Neighbors milled about with paper plates, laughing too loud, all while Deborah held court in her pastel cardigan, clipboard never far from reach. As a concerned neighbor, she began, voice dripping syrup that could rot teeth. "We must address properties that are dragging down our collective standards." I turned my way. Visible from the street had apparently become Exhibit A. Ashley posed nearby for an impromptu selfie, phone angled just so, while her mother continued. Emily's setup is bringing commercial vibes into our residential haven. We voted 7 days to remove all business equipment and convert the space to pure residential use, or face $500 daily fines and a lien that could force a sale. It's for the good of the community. Murmurs rippled. People who'd tasted Deborah's wrath before. I cut into my slice of pie, chewing slowly, face a mask of calm. Inside, a storm of dark amusement. 7 days? Perfect. Back home that night, I scrolled my phone in the dim glow of my monitors. Marjorie Klein, the realtor I'd quietly contacted months ago when the first fines hit, answered on the first ring. Emily? Ready for that conversation? Her voice was all business. I stared out my bay window at the for sale sign across the street, right opposite Deborah's palace. The colonial with the wraparound porch and master suite overlooking the whole cul-de-sac. I'm ready, I said. Cash offer if needed. Marjorie's whistle was soft. That's aggressive. We can close in days. I hung up and pulled up my dashboard. The assets this year alone. Clients who paid premium for discretion. While Deborah leveraged HOA dues for Ashley's brand workshops in Chicago, funneled through community enhancement slush funds I'd quietly documented, my empire grew in silence. I remembered the first time Deborah snooped. Age 25, fresh violation for excessive vehicle traffic. She'd stood on my porch, all concern and pearls. We just want what's best, dear. Best for her daughter's follower count, apparently. The next morning, Deborah's golf cart idled outside while I pretended to box up monitors. Progress looks good, she called, waving like we were besties. I waved back, smile tight enough to crack. Adapting as always. Inside, movers were already scheduled for the new place. Discreet, after dark. Chloe, my college best friend and only confidant, arrived with empty boxes. Operation Ghost Move is live, she whispered, taping shut the decoy crates I'd leave behind. You sure about staring her down every morning? I glanced at the colonial across the street.
Positive.
Solid foundation here.
I'll be impossible to ignore.
This project will flourish just like these plants.
By day 3, the neighborhood buzzed with whispers. Deborah ramped up patrols, measuring my lawn twice daily. Still 2.6 inches in spots. Another 100. Her texts pinged like harassment grenades. I paid every fine without protest, stacking receipts like ammunition. Meanwhile, my bank transfer for the down payment, 60% cash, cleared silently. The house across from Deborah's was mine, visible from her breakfast nook. A daily slap she'd never see coming until it landed. The escrow papers signed in Marjorie's office felt heavier than any violation notice. Keys by Wednesday, she said, eyes wide at my statements. Not many 29-year-olds drop this kind of cash without blinking. I smiled thinly. Years of invisible work add up. Back in my soon-to-be former sunroom, I left just enough props to sell the illusion. Empty shelves, a single monitor. Deborah drove by twice, nodding approval. Smart girl, finally listening. Ashley filmed a before reel on my curb, captioning it, "Neighbor finally fixing her eyesore. Blessed." That evening, the real movers arrived under cover of dusk. Chloe and a crew of trusted college buddies hauled the real equipment, desks, servers, files, across the street in unmarked vans. Eli, my younger neighbor who'd started noticing the unfairness, texted from down the block, stalling Deborah's cart with fake questions about her daughter's brand. Go time. By midnight, my new master bedroom overlooked Deborah's house like a sniper's nest. The view? Perfect. Her smug little kingdom, all in my line of sight. Wednesday dawned with Deborah's deadline. She knocked at 8 sharp, clipboard raised like a scepter. Time's up, Emily. I opened the door in my old sweatpants, playing the defeated tenant. All packed, peered inside the stripped sunroom, nodding with satisfaction. The board will appreciate this sacrifice. Ashley's studio setup can start next week. Pure residential now. I bit back the laugh bubbling in my throat. Sacrifice? The only thing sacrificed was her illusion of control. While she gushed about community standards, my phone buzzed with closing confirmation. The new house was officially mine. I walked her out, waving as she drove off to spread the news of my compliance. Then I crossed the street, keys jingling like victory bells, and stepped onto my new porch. The colonial gleamed. House stared back, blinds half drawn. I arranged my deed folder on the entry table, leather gleaming. Tomorrow's HOA block party would be the stage. No more invisible, just the quiet satisfaction of watching her world crack. The escalation built like a storm cloud no one else saw. Deborah's texts turned triumphant. Proud of you for finally fitting in. Ashley posted stories tagging my old address as fixed eyesore. Fines stopped, for now. But I'd stacked every receipt, every bank transfer proving her misuse of dues. The Community Enhancement Fund? Mostly Ashley's Chicago trips and lighting rigs. I had screenshots. The dark humor of it all hit hardest at night. Here I was, millionaire next door, while Karen celebrated my fake surrender. Sunday's block party buzzed with forced festivity. Balloons, burgers, Deborah's megaphone voice directing traffic like a parade marshal. Neighbors milled, plates loaded, while Ashley live-streamed from a makeshift stage in what used to be my sunroom. Thanks to the HOA for making spaces beautiful, she chirped. Deborah stood center stage, pearls shining, clipboard tucked under one arm. Let's applaud Emily for her compliance. True community spirit. I arrived late, tailored navy blazer crisp, folder in hand. Heads turned. The defeated woman from Wednesday. Emily? Deborah's smile faltered, eyes darting to my new address across the street. Where did you park? I stepped up, voice steady as steel. Didn't need to park far. The crowd hushed. I pointed across the cul-de-sac. The Colonial. Paid 60% down. Deborah's coffee cup slipped, splashing across her clipboard. How? I slid the financial statements across the picnic table like a royal flush. Financial consulting firm. 2.7 million last quarter. Clients nationwide. Built portfolios. Silence crashed. Ashley's phone clattered to the ground mid-live. Eli smirked from the sidelines. You assumed I was broke. I continued, tone laced with that sweet, biting edge. Never asked what I actually did. Just find me into compliance. Deborah recovered with her trademark honey. This is impulsive. Immediate review. Covenants apply. I laughed softly, dark and satisfying. Review away. Ledgers too. Chicago workshops. Ashley's equipment. All community money. Whispers exploded. Neighbors who'd nodded along now shifted, eyes narrowing at Deborah. Her face purpled. Not when it's my dues, I cut in. And now I'm your neighbor. Visible. The high point hit when movers carried my antique desk into the new office, window framing Deborah's porch perfectly. She sputtered, clipboard forgotten. Ashley tried damage control on her feed. Toxic drama, guys, but engagement tanked. The crowd turned, murmuring support. Chloe arrived with champagne. To the new queen of the block, Deborah slunk away, golf cart sputtering. Justice tasted like victory coffee, bitter for her, sweet for me. 2 weeks later, the neighborhood whisper network hummed louder than Ashley's ring light. Deborah's golf cart sightings dropped. Fines against others mysteriously vanished. My new porch became the spot for morning coffee. View straight into her breakfast nook where she now sat staring at my house like it haunted her. The colonial felt like home already. Awards on walls, employees zooming from my sunroom turned command center. Property values, up 5% since word spread of my quiet empire. Deborah showed up one afternoon with an apple pie, smile strained. Emily, sweetie, we should talk. Supports each other. I accepted the pie, voice even. Support sounds good. No liens, no fund siphoning. She fidgeted with her pearls. Madison's sponsors pulled out. Technical issues. I nodded. Technical. And misused dues. Her eyes darted. We can fix this. I set the folder on the counter, the one with every violation, every transfer. Boundaries? No more ultimatums. No more favoritism. The door's open. Until then, I gestured to her house across the street. Enjoy the view. She left without the pie. Later, Ashley's U-Haul rumbled out, moving downtown, smaller dreams. Deborah's for sale sign went up the next week, bank foreclosure whispers following. 6 months on, I stood on my porch watering mums, Mrs. Henderson waving from next door. Those look gorgeous, Emily. No more invisible. My firm had grown. 5 employees. Scholarship fund for kids from challenging homes like mine once was. Eli stopped by with plants. Our new sibling-like bond stronger than any covenant. The old sunroom? Now Ashley's abandoned studio. Dark and empty. Deborah's lights went out early these days. I slept without wondering if I measured up. Success built in silence, revealed in broad daylight. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's buying the house across the street and letting the view do the talking. Ever dealt with an HOA bully who thought they owned your life? Drop your story below. Justice always finds a window with the perfect view.